Shalom. Welcome to this week's edition of a news update for the Pilichowski Page, video update of the latest news from Israel for pro-Israel advocates advocating for a strong U.S.-Israel relationship. Our top story that we have are the current diplomatic talks going on between Iran and what's called the P501 powers, the United States and other countries around the world, diplomatically trying to reach a solution to Iran's threatening nuclear problem. Iran, of course, coming along and saying that their nuclear ambitions are purely for energy and are totally peaceful. The world having strong suspicions and trying to convince Iran to take steps to convince the world, i.e. allowing inspections into the nuclear plants. The first meeting that they had was over the course of this past weekend, and the meeting seemed productive from the nations that came out of it and said they're going in the right direction. Nothing concrete accomplished, and what was troubling, especially to Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu, is that the next meeting was not set until May 23rd, giving Iran an additional 5 weeks to continue its nuclear aspirations. Bibi Netanyahu claiming that that is a free gift to the Iranians to allow them to continue. President Obama disagreeing and saying that we're seeing how things are working, the clock is ticking, and if Iran is trying to run out the clock, it won't work in their favor. That's tough words from the president, who says that this is just trying to reach a solution, not that this is a constant allowing Iran to stall. At the same time, Israel had what could only be a strategic release to its media, a startling report on television last night showing exactly how an attack in Iran would happen and how well prepared Israel's Air Force is, showing that that the teeth are there and that negotiations, again, are not just a tactic that Israel or the United States will allow to keep Iran from stalling while it develops a nuclear weapon. At the same time, Iran had released a statement saying that they expect that as long as talks go on, that there will only be peace between the world and Iran, and that no attack will happen, because that wouldn't be good faith in terms of negotiations and trying to reach a diplomatic solution. How this will end, no one knows. While we all hope and pray that a diplomatic solution can be reached, it seems more and more unlikely, and it seems that Israel and the United States are willing to take military steps in case this does not work out. Along the lines of the Palestinians, Mahmoud Abbas will be giving a long-awaited letter to Prime Minister Netanyahu tomorrow, stating that there's a warning that the two-state solution might not become viable. Now, the two-state solution is the cornerstone and the foundational rock of any negotiation between the Palestinians and the Israelis. As soon as one side says that a two-state solution is no longer in the interest nor the objective of the negotiations, that spells trouble and really begins the breakup of all peace negotiations that began in 1993 with the Oslo Accords. This would be a horrible scenario, and we're hoping that the Palestinians don't take this step. Once again, Prime Minister Netanyahu has announced over and over, both to the Palestinians and to the world, that he is willing, able to sit down for negotiations starting right immediately at this moment, even with everything else that's going on in the world. That would not prevent him from sitting down with negotiations, and he's willing. It is simply the Palestinians with demands of preconditions that Israel agree to the 67 borders and a return of refugees before they sit down that's stalling these talks. So we hope that Mahmoud Abbas, his letter will be more diplomatic in nature and not more threatening in nature, but we'll have to wait till tomorrow to see. At the same time, interesting protest happened in Israel yesterday called the Flotilla, which is thousands upon thousands of demonstrators flying into Israel to demonstrate the ways of Israel's policies towards the Palestinians. Israel took a strategic approach and banned most of these protesters from flying into the countries, telling the airlines that they will be responsible to return those protesters immediately upon their entering into Israel, and Israel would obviously not allow them to protest. Bibi Netanyahu handing out a letter, not personally obviously, but handing a letter out to all protesters and releasing them, saying that there might be other countries where their efforts could be more appreciated, such as Syria, which is murdering its citizens, and Iran, which has tremendous human rights violations, as opposed to Israel, which provides universities and healthcare, food and aid to the Palestinians. Why that Israel is the center of attention in terms of protests is beyond him, and it seems like a very extremely valid point. Please check out the Pilichowski page, where you will see the special section that we've added called Shared Values, which are values that are shared between the United States and Israel, core values. This week we look at an independent judiciary, how America and Israel, in contrast to many, many nations in the Middle East, have an independent judiciary separate from the powers of government, and then Israel is quite vocal in its criticism of the government and its policies. All the best. Shalom.